Alright, so it says excellent connection, and we saw a picture of the map, so I guess I'm streaming now. Here's what the mission is going to look like. We have, well, maybe I should have left it there. You can see the border right here. So this is East Germany, this is West side, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take off from our little base here with our Huey, and we're gonna go drop some cargo here. And as you can see, there might be some Russian paratroops there, so we'll get our gunners ready. But once we've dropped our cargo, we're gonna go pick up some troops here and then bring them to this area here where there's an SA-3 site that's been damaged heavily, and there might still be some planes attacking it, and we're gonna try to capture that. And so this is going to be the LZ where we'll drop our troops. There's already a few soldiers there, a little commando that's awaiting in the woods. And so that's the mission. It looks pretty simple, but it's a fun little flight to do with the Huey, so we're gonna try that and have fun with it. So I've already started the mission, and so I'll set up a few things. You might have seen that there were like different nav markers with radio frequencies, so we'll set that up before we go. So let's unpause. You can see a friendly soldier in front running by, and if you're curious to see the helicopter, let's just do this. Usually that helps me with the views. There we go. So this is our little helipad. We've got a few tents and little towers and objects, but that's the helicopter I'm going to be using. And right in front of me over there, like there's a Huey cargo that we're going to pick up. But before we do that, we're going to set the first frequency for navigation. So we're going to go here and set this to 32.1, and we can hear that there's a radio beep. And then we're going to check this to see if the needle points after we've selected this towards home. And as we can see, the needle's moving, so we'll be able to follow that, and we'll get rid of that annoying beep beep sound with this switch. So with that, we've got our nav stuff set. Lights are off. It's early morning, and there are areas in front of us where there could be some rain, so that's going to make it interesting as well. So there we go. So let's activate the cargo. So it's this one here. We'll probably hear Mr. Pontiac 11 once in a while. It's another Huey flying in the area, and so he's gonna keep us company over the radio waves. And so let's get things ready for takeoff here. Usually not super crazy about picking up cargo when there's still red smoke on it, but we'll approach slowly and maybe the smoke will go away eventually. Try to line up with the trucks here. Okay, there we go. The smoke's gone.
Forward. In position. You are moving.
Alright, so now we just go up.
Take tension. The line is tight. Load is hanging steady. Take it away.
So we've got our load. So now what I'll do is I'll follow that needle there, turn
The load is swinging fore and up.
in the direction where it's gonna point. We can see some smoke in the distance on top of a hill. That's the SA3 site where we'll be going later on. For now, I'm just gonna try to locate. Yeah, this is the direction where our needle is pointing. So let's head that direction. And so we're gonna take this over the little hill in front of us to nearby village. So I'm a little bit high now, so I'm gonna get a bit lower. We're still in friendly territory in West Germany, but you never know if enemies have other radars or planes flying by. So try not to raise any suspicion. So for a map that's supposed to be like fairly flat, when you're flying in the helicopters, you can see that there is a little bit of rolling terrain, so it makes it quite interesting to fly the helicopters here. So I'm going to try to follow a little bit the curvature of the valley here so that I can hide my radar signature. Maybe we can test our flares. There we go. We know it works. So it looks dark because we're under a cloud and it's fairly early in the morning. You can see there in the distance our friendly Huey once in a while popping up in the, looks like a rainy area there. That looks like a Huey, alright. Oh, somebody's shooting at us. Let's open the doors and get those gunners ready. Alright, so we're shooting now. So our friendlies are popping a green smoke where we're going to drop our cargo. We're still shooting merrily at the enemies here. Try to concentrate on the approach here because it doesn't look like it's an easy spot to reach. So the friendly troops here are protecting a gas station, and I guess they need some ammunition for their guns and MREs so that they have something to eat. So that's what we're bringing to them. That green smoke also does the same thing as the red smoke that we had when we tried to pick up the load earlier. It hides a lot of the spot where we need to drop things. I'm gonna activate the auto on a hook thing here. I'll just fly around a little bit. You can see with the smoke the direction of the wind. that's a good thing. You can see the church and a few other landmarks. We're gonna try to bring that into that square of sandbags with the friendly trucks there. Oh, and there's our friendly Huey in front. Main thing is not to go down in altitude too quickly.
The load is swinging side to side, 10.
We want to enter a VRS. So we are fairly heavy. Alright, let's try to hover over here.
Load is hanging steady.
It's looking pretty nice. We'll slowly move forward and drop altitude, try to bring the cargo in that square. As I said, I'm not crazy about that green smoke. I'll try to get a bit closer to the trucks here. There we go. We have something to focus on. Did we drop our cargo? I think we might have. Yeah, okay, so it's dropped there behind us. Okay, it looks like it's not damaged. That's always nice. So they'll have food and ammunition to guard this gas station here. Alright, so now I'm gonna switch my frequency, and I kept it simple. I just have to change one digit to 33.1 to go pick up the SPECOPS soldiers. And it's gonna be in that direction. Our friendly Huey is there ahead of us. I guess he's clearing the way for us. We can see here our direction finder seems to be pointing in the right area, and we can see in the distance that green sort of water tower, and my friendlies are going to be close to that. They're popping smoke now, so we should see blue smoke. Yep, there it is. So we're gonna go pick up our guys. Since we're approaching the border, we can fly a little bit lower. Try to remain stealthy. Enjoy the beautiful scenery and the flowers and the trees. Almost makes me feel like downloading some 80s music and maybe setting up some speakers to play the music as we fly. could be fun. Seriously though, here we have a little pad that we're gonna try to land on, and I think I can see the soldiers in front of it. So that's where we're going. Go. Alright, so now we go to the airborne troops. Embark. We have to click embarking again. SPECOPS. And we should see them coming in. They decided that they don't want to, or maybe I have to get closer. Exit the menu. See what they do. Worked fine earlier. I did a little practice just to see if the waypoint and everything would work. And it seemed to work. Let's see. May want to get in now. Oh. Now that's a bummer. I guess that's why usually I use scripts, because they always get in with scripts. Now I'm trying to use the in-game thing. And they're not moving. So I'll try again to get closer, but I don't want to run them over. Come on, guys. Okay, we'll have to try something else. I don't know if flying away and coming back is gonna help. Otherwise, we might have to go check the mission editor. The only thing I changed in the mission was the mission time. Shouldn't affect the troops, but let's try this. Now they want to get in. It sort of doesn't work anymore. Okay, well, we're gonna have to go check the mission editor to make sure everything is set up properly. So at this waypoint we have these guys. Their job is to embark to transport. At this waypoint we have our Huey that says embark SPECOPS. at the following waypoint. Over here we have disembark SPECOPS. So let's say I click on that and say remove, and I don't know, we'll just try it again, like, to see if it works. If it doesn't, well, I'll probably have to do some more editing, but it's very annoying when those types of things happen. So let's go with this remove, spec up, add, and then I'll go check the next waypoint if they're still there. Okay. Remove, add. Okay, so sometimes you just need to move a few things, and let's say I move that truck a little bit, and then I save the mission. Hopefully that'll work. Spent a big part of my afternoon building the mission, so hopefully it's gonna work. So let's try number 2. Just gonna check if the stream's going well. It seems to be. Alright, so let's start. You have the briefing there. Friendly forces have destroyed an SA-3 site in East Germany, and you'll bring a group of SPECOPS soldiers there to allow them to capture the area so that the communist forces can't use it anymore. Before that, though, a nearby friendly position needs a cargo drop of MREs and 5.56mm ammunition so they can continue to defend a local gas station. On your way there, activate your door gunners. There could be Russian paratroopers in the sector. So that's the briefing. So we're going to try it again. Hopefully things are going to work. Otherwise I might have to make the mission use scripts for troop transport. So cargo near green smoke on 32.1, SPECOPS 33.1 pickup on blue smoke, and drop at 34.1 near blue smoke, and then we can come back to base at 31.0. So that's working. Cargo. Huey cargo. Whee!
Forward. 30. In position. Back. 30. In position. You are food.
Okay, we got it.
Take attention. The line is tight. Low.
Again, I'm gonna do that little trick I have to do often to be able
Hanging
to
steady. Take it away.
just see that. Let's try to stabilize the helicopter, and
The load is swinging side to side. 10.
yeah, I know it's swinging.
The load is swinging side to side. 10.
Alright, let's get our gunners ready.
Load is hanging steady.
Looking good. Alright. So since this part we've already done, I'm gonna fast forward the mission a bit here so that you don't get the boredom of just watching me fly. Okay, so now we've got some action going on, so we can go back to regular speed. Trying to keep a stable platform for the gunners. That's a lot of bullets coming out of those guns. Okay, hear the other Huey, but I can't spot him anymore. He was, okay, there he is. Just at the edge of my window there. Far enough so that it's not dangerous. Let's activate the auto unhook for the cargo. Cargo unhooked. Wanted to show the cargo, but we can't see shit through the screen of smoke. Okay, it's there. It's down and safe. So let's switch our frequency here and head for the next spots, where hopefully this time the troops will want to get in, because otherwise this gonna be a bit more boring than it's supposed to be. So we can see our friendly Huey in front. We're gonna get our blue smoke. There it is. Again, it's fun to fly low enough to see the flowers. Alright, moment of truth. Embark. Embarking. SPECOPS. Now they're moving. That's what we want. DCS can be a little bit tricky at times. There's one. I love how they run in slow motion. Look at that. I know we're supposed to get like newer soldiers eventually. It's gonna be a nice addition, I guess. This guy was lost somewhere. So at least I see all 8 of them. I think the first one came in. Now it looks like there's 7. They're taking their bloody time to come in the helicopter, but there we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, SPECOPS on board. That's what we want. That's what we were supposed to have the first time, but for whatever reason it didn't happen. And so, I'm gonna switch to 3-4. And we're gonna be heading for the hilltop. I don't know if we can spot the hilltop from here. Yeah, it's sort of, it looks like it's rainy in that area, so we may have to go through some rain to get to our drop zone. Let's do this. Goodbye, friendlies. We're heading to East Germany. Treetop level. And here comes the rain. So now visibility is going to be affected a bit. Am I heading in the right direction? Yeah, I'm heading north. Yeah, that's the border right there, so we are heading towards our SA3 sites. Let's go say hello to the border guards. Hello. We are invading your country. I can see some smoke on the hilltop, so that's the smoke we saw a little bit earlier in the mission. It's where the SA3 site caught fire after friendlies attacked it. There might be other aircraft attacking it as we get close, so we'll keep an eye out for that. Flying over an East German village. Okay, so our friendly commandos have lit up a blue smoke. I think we're exiting the rainy part. It's gonna help probably to see a little bit better when we get to the drop zone. We have to climb here in this area. Try to spot the blue smoke and the site. Okay, there's the smoke right in front of us. Is that a jet sound that we can hear? I think it is. So that's the SA-3 site. A lot of it's on fire. We're gonna go drop our troops at the blue smoke. They'd like us to sanitize the area with our gunners after we drop the troops. So we'll head to the smoke. Drop the troops first. Alright. And now, airborne troops. Disembark, SPECOPS, and I think they get off that side. There they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're all there. That means we can get out of here. Maybe before I do, I'll set the frequency for the base. I think it's 31.0. There we go. Let's see what we can do. Oh, look at that! It's kind of hard to get a better timing than that. I guess a friendly plane just dropped some rock eyes on the target. And we're shooting at whatever's left of the enemy soldiers here. We're cleaning up now. And boom goes that target. To see if we'll spot the friendly jet. There he is. Makes so much smoke, it must be an F4. So yeah, this site looks like it's out of commission and we have troops on the ground to take over. Let's have a look with F2. Yeah, it is an F4. That's the guy that dropped the bombs. So we're gonna head back into the rain and head home. Now once back at the base, if we want, we can take another cargo and bring it to the place where we had brought the first one. Or at the second base if we want to. It's really, at that point we can just navigate and have fun. Flying through the rain. Let's try not to crash into the trees. But I do like flying low. There we go through the border again. Zoomed out pretty far in the outside view. We'll see it closer from this point of view. Just try to trim it so I can zoom back in this view. There we go. That's more like it. So where are we on the map? We're there. Maybe we could go revisit the Russian paratrooper area. You can see the friendly Huey over there. I don't know if he's engaged any of them. Maybe he's a bit high to shoot his guns. Started at about 60% fuel, I guess. We're still at maybe 50. Those fields look really nice. Anything else? I think we've cleared up the area pretty much. That was fun watching the F4 drop the rock guys after we dropped the troops. I wasn't too sure how it would go because it's triggered at a certain point in the mission, but it's hard to time everything perfectly. I guess it worked out well this time. Lots of big hay bales there and rolls. I like those little details in the map. I haven't put any of the vehicles on the road. I've disabled that like recently to help sometimes with the frame rates, but if I do a flight just for sightseeing, I probably will want to turn that on because it's going to make it look even more alive. Alright, so this is our base here. You'll probably recognize the little towers and the Park Huey and some of the trucks that were there when we took off. So now we're just going to slow down. Could have put maybe a windsock or something to make it look more like a little FARP that's semi-permanent. Alright, so we're back. Now, let's try this here just for a sec. There we go. So one of the things I could do is, I think I have another cargo there. It's right here. And we can either drop it at this first location or where we had our troop pickup earlier. So let's say those guys maybe would like to have some food and ammunition as well. So we could switch this to 33.1, which I believe is their position there. And we could pick up the other cargo and head towards their position. I'm just going to check with my ground crew how much fuel I have. I'm at 42%. I can probably just fly with what I have, but I'll just add a little bit more. There we go. Oh, and they're gonna rearm my guns. Even though the enemies are pretty much all gone, I think. Like in that area here, they're gone. And doesn't look like there's much left on the hilltop either. You see the fuel gauge go up? have a fuel truck nearby that can refuel us? I'm not sure we do. I don't know if these barrels count. I should have put like a fuel truck to be able to refuel. Although the FARPs, sometimes they have their own liquid settings, so I don't know. This doesn't look like it moved. I don't know if I switch it like that, if I test it. The ammo hasn't changed, the fuel doesn't look like it's changed, so since we already have enough fuel to go, I think I'll just activate my cargo and go. So we have the extra Huey cargo there. It's right there. So we'll go pick it up. We'll see if the ground crew tells me, what are you doing? Yeah, so that means they weren't really refueling and rearming. There's a little soldier there. Hello, soldier. You're gonna pick that thing right next to you there. Let's get this off the ground. There we go. It's swinging heavily. There we go. Let's bring some food and ammo to our troops. So if you're wondering how I use my radio navigation, is that I've put some Humvees at each of the stops along the way. And I have them set on the frequency, which is the one I've entered here, like the one where we're going is set to 33.1 FM. And you just have it broadcast a sound. Like I have a file that's an OGG file, that's a beacon file. That's the beep 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 that we heard at the beginning. And then you play it as a loop, so it plays it forever. So when you set that frequency, if it's within range and not too obstructed, you'll be able to follow the beacon. So I put Humvees at the base and at the two friendly positions, and on the hilltop I had put some soldiers, and those were the soldiers transmitting there. Just checking if I'm gonna hit the trees with my cargo. Looks like we have some clearance. We're flying at a pretty high speed, 80-85 knots with cargo, but seems to be holding up okay. I find these helicopter flights to be very relaxing, and since it's Saturday today, it's a perfect day to relax, fly a helicopter, deliver cargo with troops. What's not to like? Look at how smooth it is. Look at that beautiful scenery. Let's do a little bit of a light show. Those villages look nice. And we see our green water tower there. That's where we were going before. So we'll know that we're getting close. You see that most of the troops and trucks are near the sort of dirt road crossroads there. We'll go drop the cargo in their area. We'll activate the auto unhook. Again, we see our friendly Huey flying by, keeping us company. Try to drop it close to those two trucks. As you can see, we dropped it. We're good. That was the delivery for today. And so we can set our frequency back to 310 and head back home. Whee! Always fun when you're flying like below the treetop. What's nice is there's a nice variety of buildings and churches and things like that in the villages, so it looks like you're flying over something inhabited. As you can see here, this is our fuel station where we had dropped off some cargo earlier. Got some telephone wires there on the road. It could be fun to do a similar mission, flying from the red site and then going to, let's say, a hawk site on the western site and do the same type of thing. I got some nice East German MiG-21 and Mi-24 skins as well, so that could make for interesting missions. Either flying as those aircraft or to have them as enemies that we could fly against. It's nice we can see the shadow on the ground. You can see that Humvee right here. That's where the needle is pointing. So if I turn around and point my nose at the Humvee, there you go. He's the one that's got the frequency. As soon as my nose passes on him, we get the needle to center. Alright, for now though, we're just gonna land it. I guess we're gonna call this a successful mission. That was fun. And so we're back at the base. Gonna do our lazy shutdown. The F4 has returned to his base, I guess, and we have that other Huey and the other friend that's flying around. Yeah, his gunners are not even active, so that's why he's not shooting at the enemies. He's just patrolling. And that's us. Some little flowers in the fields here. So we got a little bit of everything in this one. Hooking up cargo underneath the helicopter, carrying troops, watching some friendly aircraft bomb a target as we just dropped our troops nearby. Engaged some enemies with the miniguns. Did some low-level flying through the rain. All in a day's work. I hope you enjoyed. Cool handout.